Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and in this video I would like to share with you a fantastic game played at 1988 Chess Olympiad, with the white pieces playing Carsten Hoi and his opponent is Boris Gulko. At the time of this game, Hoi was still an international master. He would get his Grandmaster norm only in 2001, and Boris Gulko was a Soviet-American chess Grandmaster who is noted to be the only person to win both the Soviet Chess Championship and the US Chess Championship. Also, he had a positive score against Garry Kasparov. But before starting our game, would you like to warm up your brain? Please take a look at this position and try to find the winning move for white. I will wait for your answer in the comment section. And now, without further ado, let's go for our main game and see what happened on the board. Hoi opened up with d4 and Gulko responded with e6, knight f3 c5, e3 knight f6, bishop d3, b6, white castles kingside, bishop b7, knight d2, c takes d4, e takes d4, bishop e7, rook e1. White is freeing the f1 square for the knight. Later we will see that white will bring his knight on g3, black castles kingside, and this time we have c3. White is strengthening his center, and later we'll start using the vulnerability of b1 h7 diagonal. Now comes d6, queen e2, rook e8. In his turn, black is freeing the f8 square, this time for the bishop. We have knight f1, knight d7, knight g3, bishop f8, bishop g5, and after h6, as white managed to somewhat weaken black's kingside, moved back his bishop on d2. Now comes queen c7 and bishop c2. Yes, white is freeing the d3 square for the queen. We have bishop d5, b3. White is taking under control of the c4 square, not allowing any possible bishop b4 moves. Queen b7, and we have knight h4, b5. This time we have queen d3. Although, yes, the cooperation of the light squared bishop and the queen looks very scary, but at this point black's position is very solid. But after this dubious looking g5 move, black is somewhat weakening his king side. We have knight f3, and after bishop takes f3, Carsten Hoi recaptured with the g-pawn. Now by either playing f4 or h4, white can exploit the vulnerability of black's pawn structure on the king side. Bishop g7, but as black has a dark squared bishop, still black's king side is solid, and we have h4. G takes h4, knight e4, queen c6, and this time we have king h1. Yes, white is freeing the g1 square for the rook. Rooks are for the open files. That's how it goes, right? Knight h5, which is a mistake. Yes, and actually after knight h5, black is starting to face serious problems. It was better to make a prophylactic move and move away the king from the dangerous g file, but we have knight h5 in the game, and now comes rook g1. Right now the threat is bishop takes h6. That's why Boris Gulko moved away his king from the dangerous g file, but it turns out it's too late. In here, Carsten Hoi landed the first destructive punch and he captured on g7. Look at this. King takes g7 was played, but let's first cover the line with knight takes g7. Then in this case, as the pawn on h6 is not protected, white can win it and pin the knight on g7. And in here, black's position is so terrible that the engine suggests king e7 and give away the knight on g7, but even in this case white has a huge advantage. But after bishop takes h6, let's also cover the line with rook e7. Then in this case white can capture on g7, can announce a check from g1, and then the queen is coming. Yes, the dark squares are very weak and white queen can penetrate black's camp. If e5, then queen h6 check, and then queen takes h4. White will never allow black king to escape, and then d5, knight g5. There are so many threats that yes, white's attack is decisive. That's why after rook takes g7, black responded with king takes g7. But in here, Carsten Hoi made another fantastic move. He played bishop takes h6. Look at this, guys. King takes h6 was played. Although king h8 could have allowed black to prolong his resistance, but even in this case, yes, white has a devastating attack. And then knight g5 is coming. This bishop on c2 is simply a monster and demoralizes black's army. After bishop takes h6, we have king takes h6 and rook g1. White rook is coming to control the g file and is not allowing black king to escape. f5 was played. This time we have queen e3 check, f4, and this time we have another insane move. Knight takes d6 was played, guys. Yes, white is also sacrificing his queen, but the queen is untouchable because of this. Knight f7 checkmate. This bishop is here, don't forget please. That's why after knight takes d6, black accepted the knight sacrifice, but as white managed to open up the b1 h7 diagonal with a tempo by sacrificing his knight, this time we have queen d3 with mating threats. Knight f8, on the surface it looks like that black managed to cover all the essential squares, but in here Carsten Hoi made a move and black resigned. Can you find his next move? Ready? Well, in here even this simple rook g6 check can allow white to win the game, but Carsten Hoi chose the most precise move and he sacrificed his queen, after which we have a resignation. If knight takes g7, then rook g6 checkmate is coming. A very rare checkmate, guys. This black king is sandwiched between two knights, there is no escaping route, and the rook together with the light squared bishop are managing to kill the enemy king. Look at this beauty. This final checkmate is simply awesome, and I would like you to share this game with your friends and let them know about this beauty as well. Thanks for watching. If you liked this game, give the thumbs up. For more games, consider subscribing to my channel. Also, press the bell button to get notified about new uploads. I will see you in my next video.